Man, I cannot stop sneezing today, it's ridiculous. Hi guys, it's Michelle. So I'm here to do a review for you guys. It is a review of the Wunderbrow COVERPROOF foundation. Now that is what I have on my face at the moment. Obviously I have the rest of my face done on top, so I'm going to let you see how this product applies, give you my kind of thoughts on it as I am going. Probably talk a wee bit of rubbish along the way, but let you guys kind of see the product going on, what I think of it, what I think in regard to the claims, what I generally think of it, and then you will see how the rest of my makeup has kind of applied over this. So yeah, so I will do that for you just to let you guys know. Hi if you're new, my skin is kind of mature, I guess. I am 35 years old. I have fine lines, I have quite dehydrated skin, I have a lot of uneven pigments, so I like really full coverage. But if you want to see this kind of review, please do stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll go through a few of the claims from COVERPROOF on your foundation, and yeah, without further ado, here comes the Wunderbrow COVERPROOF foundation review. Kinda rhymes. Unintentional. COVERPROOF foundation. This is by Wunderbrow, the Wunderbrow people. This is COVERPROOF foundation. This is shade N20 light. Now I will just give you a wee quick swatch. Oh, put a lot out on my hand. Now this is light. Hold on till I zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. It is not overly light, I have to say, for a light foundation. It seems the fair is super fair, and then we kind of jump a few shades to light, and then it seems to just be really dark from there on in. Okay, so I'm just using my Real Techniques makeup sponge. That it is comfortable and flexible long wear foundation that moves with your skin. Flawless finish for 24 plus hours. Now I would imagine there are probably not any people out there that would be wanting to wear a foundation for over 24 hours. However, it just means it holds up. Natural luminosity that looks like real skin, and a buildable formula. So this shade that I'm wearing is the N20 light. I would say that what I have found from a few days of wearing this foundation, if you use a layer of this, I do think you get a nicer finish using the sponge rather than a brush. Now I'm onto my third pump here because I like a fairly full coverage. It is absolutely buildable. I would say I need a couple of pumps for this. There are only 5 shades, so I don't know if you can see that in my phone. Fair, which is extremely light and very pinky toned. Then from fair we go to light, which is meant to be a kind of yellowy toned, yellow undertone type, but obviously light as well. That's actually what I'm wearing right now, would be the light shade. Sorry, I have this terrible rash that's broken out in my neck just now. Let's see what we can cover with it. I would say this is a probably high medium. Some of your freckles, if you have freckles and the likes, it will still shine through with the foundation, but it certainly does give a very skin-like finish, a very natural finish. One thing I think is actually really wonderful about this foundation is that a lot of kind of long wearing foundations I found, they tend to be very matte. I'm so red today. They tend to be very matte foundations, whereas this is not totally matte looking. This is very much, I would say, it's not dewy, it's maybe more of a satin type finish. Yeah, but it's nice. What I have done, I have actually added oil to my beauty blender and used that over, sorry, my Real Techniques, my makeup sponge, and I have used that over my face. This looks super duper yellow. I'm actually very yellow undertoned, and even this looks just a wee bit too yellow on me just now. But applies nicely, applies easily. It does look really good. It is buildable. You can get it to full coverage quite easily. I'm going to try zoom you in. Okay, so I've got really enlarged pores around this kind of area here. You can see them. However, it's kind of that I have those really enlarged pores no matter what I do. It's just me. It's just what I have. It is my life. And what I'm going to do is just pop on a bit of concealer just now. Now I have found that this what it claims with this foundation, it does claim that it is so long lasting that anything you then lay down on top of the product will also become extremely long lasting, which obviously just sounds amazing. Some Tarte Shape Tape concealer today, and I'm using the shade Fair. And we are going to lighten this wee bad boy up. I'm going to grab my Zoeva concealer buffer, and I am just going to dab some of this here. I might end up actually using my sponge. This is just to brighten up any kind of under eye dark circles that I have got. What I do actually love about this COVERPROOF foundation, this is very much for anyone else out there with slightly mature skin or dehydrated skin like me. One thing that I do believe 100% with this, I do not set it down with powder. It does take a wee bit just to kind of fully dry down so it's not quite so tacky anymore. I don't set this foundation with powder, and honestly it will still be absolutely perfect by the end of the day. Lovely, lovely that you don't have to be doing that. Probably actually just a moisturiser underneath of this would be totally fine. I use my all-in-one snail repair cream. I also use about maybe 6 drops of my virgin marula oil from The Ordinary by Deciem. This stuff is phenomenal. For everyone out there who's a bit obsessed with the whole For Sally thing, oil, then what I actually would say is you can get the rose hip seed oil by The Ordinary. However, I think I do have it and I think it's lovely. I do add it to my foundation sometimes, whatever else. However, I've actually decided that the marula oil I find for me is more nourishing, it's better on my dehydrated skin, and it's just beautiful. Yeah, it maybe doesn't have the absolute most beautifully perfumed smell in the world, but that is a good thing in my opinion, because most things that smell really kind of nice and pretty and perfumey generally have an alcoholic perfume type thing added into them. So generally I find it with The Ordinary by Deciem, they don't have any of that added. It does smell very plant-like sometimes, but it is cold pressed plant oil, so that is how it should smell. My Tarte blusher, Amazonian Clay 12 Hour, in the shade I have Thrilled. This stuff is gorgeous. The highlighter I'll be using is the Benefit Dandelion Twinkle. It's lovely. Bad Habit by Makeup Geek. So, because I want to still keep my face kind of slightly angular and snidged down, then I will add a wee bit to the apples of my cheeks, but I always kind of bring it back. Now I don't want to look stripy, so I've actually got this big fluffy brush which is actually clean, and I'm wanting to just blend everything together. There, this is the Barry M Afterglow Light Bronzer. Mood, no, someone help me. So this is kind of the finished look for just now. So yeah, zoomed in, this is what I look like. And it's covered up all that redness in my neck. Kind of shocked me a little because I hardly put any on, I just dabbed the sponge over that area. But there you go. And this is my Dimples Adele human hair wig. I will try and remember to come back. The time, just now, it is currently 12:24. Hi guys, it's Michelle. So I am back. It is now the end of the day. This is about 8.5, 9 hours almost of the foundation having been on my face. So the claim is 24 hours plus. I am not going to test it for 24 hours because that is too long to have makeup on my face. So yeah, this is how it's kind of held up. Let me kind of come in closer. I am going to grab a wee mirror and have a look up close as well. Okay, so sometimes around my nose I can get a wee bit of it breaking up. It's actually a wee tiny bit is worn off here and here. I was rubbing at my nose earlier because I was sneezing like a crazy woman. On my forehead it's all held up really well. It's held up really well all over actually. Chin, sometimes I get a bit of breakup on my chin, not so much. So all in all, it has held very well. I have been quite warm, quite hot today. I'm not tending to be prone to oiliness usually. It's not overly humid or anything like that today. I was freezing earlier and then it got really hot for a while. So this is kind of how I've been. This is how I have been for today with the Wunderbrow COVERPROOF foundation. So yeah, I mean, I think it gives a very natural kind of skin-like look. And if you remember, I had that big red mark earlier on right here. It certainly covered that up amazingly, and that was just dotting a wee bit of the beauty sponge. So it's held up really, really remarkably well. I really quite love it. I would say it's worth the money. I'm going to keep using it. I love, do you know what I love? I love the fact that I didn't need to powder over this. I dare say if you are kind of combo or oily skin, or T-zone oily, you know, then you probably have to powder, maybe. I don't know, because I'm not that kind of skin type. However, for my skin type, which tends to be prone to dehydration, I've got a wee dry patch, persistent dry patch right here, which is aggravating. In fact, it doesn't highlight that though. Yeah, because you can't tell any difference in texture, and it's right here and you don't notice it even though I've got highlight on as well. So yeah, that is amazing actually. I am very, very impressed. I never powdered under eye, I never powdered anywhere, and I never used a setting spray or fixing spray or finishing spray, nothing like that. I use my all-in-one snail repair cream, which I love, by Mise-on, and then I just use some of the marula oil by The Ordinary, and then just popped this on right over the top, and I honestly, my skin feels nice and hydrated still. It doesn't feel dry. I'm not aware of having this in my face, although it is really full coverage and it is long lasting. Sometimes I feel the long lasting ones almost feel like they kind of tighten slightly into the skin and they make me feel more dry, like I'm losing moisture. I don't like that feeling because I'm aware of it, and then I do worry about what that may be doing to my skin. This hasn't done that at all. So in regard to the claims of it being mouldable and moving with your skin, I don't know how that works. I might even pretend to know how that works, but I do believe that it does work, and I do believe it does give a beautiful finish. Let's take off the wig and see if it's held up under the wig. If it's not, I'm not going to be surprised. Oh, it has. It really has. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, this is a thumbs up from me. I really love this foundation. It is really great. I'd never really heard of it. I don't know why I went on to the Wonder2 site. I just for some reason went on it. I think what had happened was I have the Wunderbrow and I forgot that I had that. I used to swear by that stuff when I used to just do one big kind of solid type brow thing. I know my brows will look very solid today, but I kind of stopped using it once I discovered the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. But I found my Wunderbrow and put some on the other week and then thought, what else do they make? I'm sure they make other things now. So the COVERPROOF foundation, yeah, I love it. The only negative thing I would say, shade range is not phenomenal, so you would probably, unless you kind of fall into one of the categories that they do have, they've got like 6 shades I believe it is. I mean, this is the light and it is quite dark for light. I obviously use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to brighten a wee bit. It's not far off my bronzer shades. For the fair shades is super duper white, kind of pink undertones. This is the next stage up light, which I would say is probably about 4 or 5 shades difference, I think. And they just get darker. So I do love it. I think it's lovely. If you need to mix something in to change the colour, is it worth that? Yes, I would say it actually is, because honestly, for long lasting without having to powder, if you've got mature skin or dehydrated skin, dry skin, that's a wee bit of a dream come true. And I use my really needing washed right now because I used it earlier and I never washed it after I used it. That's disgusting, I know. I used my beauty sponge, apply my foundation, and honestly it's just lovely. So thanks guys for tuning in, and I will see you all again very soon with some more foundation reviews and other makeup and the likes. So until then, take care and you are all beautiful. Mwah. Bye guys.